The flood happened, the first flood on August 28th of 2018. I was called to the school in El Rey to evacuate the town through Salvation Army. And I went there, and from that day on, it was the next week. We started having ERT, or in the next 2 weeks, we had ERT teams coming in. God put every piece in place. Honestly, that is exactly how it happened. God has put absolutely every piece in place. And when God says go, none of us said whoa. We just asked which direction. And I think because of that, it has become beautiful. And so now we're building dormitories, and we have a shower house on site. We're putting in RV parking, and for 5 RVs to sit here on the church parking lot. Our congregation has opened their hearts and our doors to volunteers from around the country, and not only citizens, but government agencies, and like I said, the FEMA teams, and Lynette and her teams have come in. It's just amazing, but God orchestrated something that is extremely beautiful, that we can get to the people in this area to help them recover from a disaster that they didn't think would happen for 100 years.
God works in mysterious ways, and I honestly believe everything happens for a reason. It came about 12 to 14 inches into the main level of the home. We lost vehicles and everything that was stored in the basement, and I would say probably 90% of everything that was up above here, except for things that were in the upper cupboards or in the closets, didn't get touched. But beds, chairs, everything was touched by flood water and had to be pretty much destroyed. And every time it rains, like this morning, you have this walnut in your stomach growing because there's a fear that says, is it going to happen again? That's, it's been a process, and finding a new home was a process. Finding people to help remodel has been a process. But God never gives us more than we can handle.
I believe it was August 28th. Not a day you really want to remember, but you kind of have to. It started raining, never stopped raining. My wife, who was sick at the time, didn't want to leave, said we're going to stick it out. And that's what we did, but by the time it started getting light out, why, there was really no chance that we were going to be able to stay. Got the neighbor to get a boat, and they came down and pulled us out. We spent a couple months in the motel before we could get back in our home. Fortunately, we had a lot of help from some organizations, especially the Methodist Church. Cleaning out our house, we lost, I couldn't even begin to guess how much stuff. We spent 2 months trying to get the house back into somewhat of a condition you could live in, because my wife was dying at that time. From cancer, and she didn't want to be in the motel, so I did everything I could to get the house back to where we could live in it, which was very basic. The 27th of October, Saturday, and she was happy just to be in the house. We came, worked on the house. She spent most of the next 3 weeks in her bed. She died the 17th of November. But those things happen to some people. Happen to me. You can get help. We had lots of help from organizations, Salvation Army, Methodist Church, groups of people that volunteers that came in and out and helped at various times.
But there is help if you look for it. And it's not too far away if you ask.